My 25F husband, 25M, is forming a connection with another woman.
My husband and I have been together for 5 years but have only been married for 2 years. A year ago, I felt like we had missed out on some sexual experiences because we married so young and had been dating for so long. I proposed the idea of an open marriage to my husband. He was initially opposed due to concerns about STDs and not liking the idea of me being with other people. But after some convincing, he agreed, and we began our arrangement. For the past year, we've been in an open relationship, and he's only talked to one girl. I read their messages because I wanted to see why he was so hooked up on her, but the messages aren't even sexual. They got to know each other on a deep level.
He tells her when he's sad or had a bad day at work, buys her flowers when she's sad, made her an advent calendar with her favorite chocolate, puzzles, and so on, while he got me a new kitchen set that I've been wanting, but it's nothing compared to what he did for her, and he listens to all her problems.
He also offers to teach her a programming language. I feel like he used to be like this with me, but he rarely offers to make nice gestures like he did when we first started dating. We hardly ever sleep together anymore, and I try to make plans ahead of time, but he is either too tired or not in the mood. I sometimes feel like his roommate rather than his wife. I recently asked him if we could end our open marriage, and he said no without hesitation. I'm at a loss for what to do to reclaim my husband's attention. I feel like this is cheating because their relationship has surpassed sexual and I have never treated a partner with that level of intimacy. When I confronted him about the message, it was as if I were arguing with myself. When I suggested not having the same partner and he said he can't change them every minute, that he is naturally monogamous. I told him I didn't like their relationship and maybe he could find someone else, and he said he is not negotiating with me and just ignored me and continued playing on his PS. I miss what we used to be and being his world, but I feel like I've been slowly replaced. He even skipped Christmas Eve to spend it with her. The top replies, so you pressured him into something he didn't want, and now that he made the best he could out of that you were upset. Sounds like you wanted your husband to be monogamous while you went off and slept with a bunch of people. It is people like you that gives people that are polyamorous a bad name, because what you are doing is not polyamory. The second reply, this is the consequence of your own actions. I would guess it's only a matter of time until he leaves you for her, especially if she's willing to be committed and faithful to him and him alone. When people say no to opening up a marriage when asked the first time, they mean it. Whether or not you continued to try and sell the benefits of it to him was on you. He finally agreed to keep you happy. Now you don't like the outcome of a scenario you asked for. Monogamous people who are convinced to open a marriage almost always end up this way. They don't want to sleep with random people, they want an emotional connection with the person they're sleeping with. Therefore, when they agree to open the relationship they, again, almost always find one person to connect with. You should have created better rules if you wanted to prevent this.
Sounds like you didn't want to limit yourself too much with dos and don'ts, so he's probably not doing anything wrong in the terms of your agreement. He is a grown man who agreed to this and now he's a grown man making his own decisions, but know this, he wouldn't have spoken to this girl if you weren't interested in random sex with random strangers.
Too late to walk it back now. I also notice you don't offer to want to close the relationship or stop sleeping with random people, you just want him to change what he's doing. You basically want to limit him while doing whatever you want. That's selfish. Opening a relationship or suddenly becoming poly only works if both people truly wanted it from the start. It should be a 2 yes, 1 no situation. Second story, am I the idiot for skipping Christmas with my parents since they won't treat me like an adult? I, female 27, have been with my boyfriend, 33 male, for almost 2 years now. We will be getting married eventually, but it's not a priority. My mom won't let us share a bed if we come see them for any reason. When we came over this last summer, my boyfriend suggested renting a hotel so we could have privacy and a comfortable bed. It drove my mom nuts that we bypassed her idle rules. She wouldn't drop it the entire time we were there. She made me promise not to do that again. My boyfriend's mom and dad are retired to Mexico and they are really chill. So we made plans to come visit them over Christmas. They are not Christians, so they don't really care when they see their son with regards to religious holidays. We didn't tell my parents we weren't coming. My mom asked me at Thanksgiving if I was going to hold to my promise not to stay at a hotel over Christmas. I answered truthfully that I would not stay at a hotel. I am sitting here on the balcony of my future in-laws' condo looking at the Caribbean, waiting for sunrise and enjoying the peace and quiet. I made the mistake of going online yesterday and I saw a bunch of posts from my mom and my sisters about how I was a jerk for lying to them about my plans. I may have been a little tipsy last night because I decided to respond. I said that it was ridiculous of them to try and tell me I couldn't share a room with my boyfriend, that I was keeping my promise by not staying at a hotel when we were there, and that if they planned on putting everything on Facebook I would be avoiding all visits for the foreseeable future. They took down their posts when people started crapping on them for trying to control me. But some people did agree with them. Now they are texting me and calling to say I was an idiot for making them look bad. I asked them if they were trying to make me look good with their posts. They stopped for a while, but there were more texts and voicemail this morning. I'm kind of liking the idea of skipping out on the drama from now on. But I miss my dad and he is blameless in this. Am I the idiot?
Edit. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around a couple of things that keep being repeated. How was staying at a hotel so we didn't break her rules not the adult choice? How many of you guys fly across the country or drive for hours to just stay one night?
The top replies, everyone is the idiot. Your mom is horribly controlling. That's not in question. But instead of saying, I won't be spending Christmas with you this year, I'm going to the in-laws, and if I come to you again, we will stay in a hotel, you lied in such a way that they thought you'd be attending. Instead of acting in the adult manner in which you want to be treated, you behaved like a kid. Edit. Well, now. This kicked off. Thank you for the awards. Clearly a mixed bag of responses. Just a little clarification, a lie of omission is still a lie. If you are dealing with a manipulative or narcissistic person, it is all the more important to state your boundary clearly and stick to it. Otherwise you will leave yourself open to their abusive tactics and flying monkeys. Don't bring yourself down to their level. For everyone that told me to F off or similar, Merry Christmas to you too. Second reply, I don't know if she defeated her family. I'd say it's more like she decided to play a different game. I also agree with the everyone is the idiot. What original poster should have done was, first, not promise to not be in a hotel. She should have made this her hill to die on, but, instead, decided to lie. Her mom won't be defeated until original poster stands up to her and makes her understand that she's 27 and either she gets treated like the adult she is or she will not be visiting, going LC to no contact. Again, the mom wasn't defeated, she was avoided. The battle is still there, awaiting original poster. Let me say that it may not actually be able to defeat mom. If she still thinks she can control her 27-year-old daughter, then she's probably not open to any kind of compromise nor abiding by original poster's boundaries. Third reply, not the idiot. Don't forget that your dad chose to marry your mom and he's still in the relationship. You don't have to torture yourself with your mother just to keep your dad in your life. He may have some balls to stand up to her and see you without her. If he doesn't, he may be collateral damage as you may need to cut contact with him too.
He's not blameless if he's fine for your mom to be saying and doing this sort of childish behavior.
That makes him an enabler.
Third story.
Cousin's gift ruined Christmas and possibly my relationship. I come from a big family. Our holidays involve extended family like second cousins, etc. My fiancé and I are in our mid-20s and there are a lot of cousins in their 20s and 30s. Last night we had our big Christmas party. It was fun to see everyone until it was time to exchange presents. My cousin Anna, not her real name, hands out pink envelopes to all the 20s and 30s men who have married/dated into the family. My fiancé received one and quickly put it in his pocket after opening it. I was distracted opening my gifts and didn't ask to look at it.
About 20 minutes later, my cousin Rachel, again, not a real name, pulls me aside and says Anna is giving out cards with instructions on how to get a discount subscription to her of.
Rachel's boyfriend got one of the pink cards and showed Rachel because he was weirded out. I'm pissed at this point because I suspect my fiance's card also has an of discount, so I ask to talk with him and he denies getting a card from aitA. I tell him, I saw her hand you one, and I watched you put it in your pocket. I go to grab his pocket and he suddenly remembers getting a card but claims he didn't open it. I take it from him, and of course it's already opened, and of course it's about F*** King only fans. I go back inside to confront aitA and find her already arguing with a different cousin who is upset because her husband has already tried looking at aitA's page. aitA claims she's just trying to get her business off the ground and no one appreciates all the hard work and skills it takes to be successful in a digital career. She says her gift is not sexual, it's just marketing. Some of the older relatives, aunts and uncles, are starting to take sides too, but they're mostly really confused about what's going on. aitA's mom started crying because of something I said and my mom tried to get me to apologize, which pissed me off more. At this point, I leave with my brother and his husband, because I don't want to spend the night with my fiancé at home, and I don't feel like going with parents when my mom is pressuring me to apologize. Oh, and surprise surprise, aitA didn't give my brother's husband a card, so make of that what you will about the intent behind her gift. I'm seriously considering calling off the engagement over this, and I'm pissed at my cousin for ruining both Christmas and my relationship. The top replies, OMG, I would cut that cousin off completely. That's so inappropriate and rude and just effing classless to do, especially at Christmas. Spell it out plainly for the grandparents so they can understand. She chose to do this at a family function, so make sure everyone understands. The second reply, original poster, you're 100% correct to be upset about this and I wouldn't apologize either. Your fiancé hiding the card from you is troubling at the bare minimum, and I don't blame you for thinking about cutting off the engagement. He crossed a huge line, broke your trust, and showed intention and ability to break the sanctity of your relationship, and all with a family member to boot. If she was trying to get her business off the ground, as she says, why only give the cards to the men who've dated/married into the family, and not everyone who was in their 20s/30s? It still would have been creepy emo, but at least she'd have a better argument for saying she's just trying to get her career to take off. The third story, I'm happily married. I've been having sex with prostitutes. I have a very happy marriage, unfortunately it's rather sexless. I'm not sure why. I find my wife beautiful and sexy.
But her sex drive is just not there.
At all. This is a problem because I'm very sexual. During a solo trip abroad, I had a girl sent up to my room. She blew me and I entitled dad her for a little, but I just couldn't get into it despite her being really, really hot. A blonde Asian girl with C cups and a waxed pussy. The next night I got another girl, who was tall and thin and very young, probably 19. I had the best sex in years. This stopped when I got back home. But my marriage, while happy and romantic, was still sexless. I got a happy ending massage one night, about 1.5 years after the hookers. It felt so good I actually shot cum onto my masseuse, who liked it. A few months later I went again, but it was disappointing.
I wanted more. I know a girl who used to do fetish porn and now deals, arranges bachelor parties, and pimps a little.
Since she trusts me, I get access to some very hot girls who turn tricks occasionally with clean, wealthy, sane guys. Apparently I fit the bill. Same pattern emerges. I met the first girl after work at a sleazy hotel. I had drinks and some appetizers with her while my friend set up the room.
She's local, Caucasian, probably 23, with great natural tits.
She's a stripper. It was supposed to be a three-way, but I'm not attracted to my friend, so I spent most of the hour eating this girl out, making her cum over and over. I didn't F her, but she was so turned on she let me cum on her face. I nearly blinded her. My friend, she never lets anyone do that, so she felt very comfortable with me. A few weeks later, I met her other friend, this Jamaican/Irish girl who is straight up an 11/10. Unbelievable. I got a nicer room this time. We chatted, drank, I was a bit blazed. She deep throats, and spits on my cock, generally goes all porn star on me. I entitled dad her a little bit, but weirdly lost interest. We ended up talking, Turns out we both have had a lot interest in Hinduism, and spoke at length about our experiences. We made out for a while, and then I went home. Reddit, I don't give a shit what you think about this. I honestly don't. Just want to put this in words. I don't get much out of the prostitutes, I'm working on getting the sexual spark in my marriage. Weirdly, these experiences make me resent my wife less, while affirming that random sex with strangers is, as it was before, fun, exciting, but not very rewarding or memorable. Hottest sex I've ever had was when dating my wife. I think in the future, I might continue seeing the Jamaican girl. Edit. It's kind of crazy that, if I write honestly about myself, it sounds like this. If you knew me, you would never guess I run in these circles. Edit. To notice that deleted posts were by a throwaway Nodanevelman. He deleted his account after I told him that, in his comment history, he committed a felony. Guy throws all manner of judgment at me, but all the while has been advising an admitted child porn collector on how to wipe away the evidence. F-ing douchebag. Dig into the thread starting with, "Are you going to continue cheating on your wife?" to see what I'm talking about. The top replies, "I would never cheat on my wife. Not a judgment against you. Just a statement about our marriage. But if I was in your shoes, it would eat me alive to spend all that money on call girls. I would think a divorce and finding someone who meets your sexual requirements would be a whole lot cheaper. But then again, I'm a total cheapskate. Does this aspect of your situation ever bother you?" Original poster replies, "Yes, I have ample funds, but I'd rather be spending it on my wife or saving it for our future. It's not that expensive, actually, but it still bothers me.